another, you sound a little taller on radio.
Is it live? Is it live? Is it
From Ruffino's on Highland Road, welcome to the Friday edition of Live at Lunch. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Charles Handgriff along with Jimmy Ott. Jordan Kinch is back in the studio. Friday means we'll hear from our friend Chris Massaro. We will hear from Troy Macker. We'll hear from Bruce Marshall.
I'm ready to give Massaro a little beef, man.
A little beef? What's your beef?
Well, no, he lives too good of a life, man. Shoot,
Oh,
man.
envy.
Yeah,
okay.
yes. I mean, he's it's Charlie, San Diego's a nice place, man. Just in.
I understand. And when he gets tired of that, he goes to Vegas. Yeah, you're right. It is a nice life.
I know. Yeah, when he gets bored.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get that.
Yeah. Envy's good. That's fine. That's accurate. That's good.
Championship weekend. Jayden Daniels with a chance to take Washington to the Super Bowl. Long shot history. There would be the biggest preseason long shots ever to reach the Super Bowl.
What was New England when Brady went the first year? And what was the Rams?
The Rams are who they would take over. They were
Rams like 200-1 to win it, huh?
Washington started. They got to 250 is the highest. They were 150 in the preseason, and then after they lost the opener, they drifted as far as 250-1. St. Louis was the number one before that, and those
more than that.
Yeah. Get this: this year's Patriots, this year's Titans, and this year's Giants all had more Super Bowl bets than the Commanders at the BetMGM.
It's
in the
funny.
preseason.
It's funny how we remember certain things. But here's the Haas twins would be they just laugh at me for this because I used to read that goal sheet like it was nothing. And they're like, how can you read this stuff so small? Saying I thumb through it, but once you get used to the goal sheet, you get to the lines, point spread value, what they did, what the point spread. I mean, it was just a great reference material, and that's when Bruce Marshall was heavily involved. And then when they sold it, excuse me. It's different. So it's just not like, we use it for reference material as much as, Bruce's contributions, but I'll never forget opening weekend, the NFL, and it was either Bruce or Matt or whoever from the goal sheet. And they talked about, Trent Green gone for the season. This can't be good because Trent Green was supposed to be, they said, man, they got weapons. And Trent Green was lighting it up in the preseason. Said they're taking a guy from the Arena League who was pushing carts,
bagging groceries,
stacking groceries. I've never. This is you don't often read that in the goal sheet when you're breaking down games, Charlie. But I mean, I'll never forget they wrote it. I'm going to bring that up to Bruce today. I wonder if he was the one that wrote it. So
I was, I remember when we heard that news. We were doing a fantasy football draft, which doesn't mean anything, but we're sitting there, and one guy's crossing things off his list, and is like, "Are there any starting quarter?" I remember the guy says, "Are there any starting quarterbacks left?" And the guy says, "Kurt Warner." And everybody, "Who's he?" I said, "That guy played running back for the Seahawks back in the 80s. I said, "Who's Kurt Warner?" And, of course, we found out really quickly who Kurt Warner was. But, they did have – Marshall Faulk was a Hall of Famer, and we knew at that point in his career he was a Hall of Famer. And Bruce and Holt were great receivers.
They were good already?
They weren't – no, they weren't to the level – they were good receivers, but they weren't to that level yet. But there was some talent there.
I remember Torrey Holt at NC State pretty good.
They were talented guys. They hadn't busted out.
Bruce was kind of an unknown at Memphis,
Right. But nobody knew who the hell Kurt Warner was. How could you possibly? We can debate on whether this is a longer shot at the beginning of the season. We knew Jayden Daniels might have a good year. I didn't think anything like this, but we thought he would have a good year. And Washington's supporting cast outside of Terry McLaurin, who America has sort of discovered has been a really dependable guy, was a really good player, but just playing with lousy quarterbacks. But past that, I don't know how many the average NFL fan, I mean, how many guys could you name? Everybody knew about Austin Eckler and Zach Ertz because of what they did somewhere else, but they're, on not in their
Robinson's
prime.
okay.
Robinson's a good
those
player.
Two backs, it was
yeah.
a nice combination, but nothing. No, they were a patchwork unit. And I think the best comparison that we're very familiar with is that first Saints roster with Sean Payton and Drew Brees.
Yeah.
And I remember watching Drew Brees in the first game. It was Cleveland and Green Bay, or I think it was Cleveland and Green Bay, not Green Bay and Cleveland.
That sounds right. Yeah.
He's trying to make a throw across the field against Cleveland. I'm like, it didn't get there.
Yeah.
Like his arm strength was still, it's never been elite, but it was like,
and he was coming off that surgery with all of those anchor bolts in his shoulder, so he was.
But it was early September in Cleveland. It wasn't December.
Right.
It was like, well, we win and it won, but I mean, I could see why he, was kind of passed up by the Dolphins, a physical. I think there's a couple of things here, Charlie, and that is first from an everybody national in. Is this the best? And there was one guy, and I think it's the analytics guy from ESPN that wrote it. Is this the best rookie season ever?
I'm hard-pressed to find another one, and I've looked. We think about the great quarterbacks that emerged early.
Well, not just a quarterback.
Oh, best rookie season, period.
You don't have to look at quarterbacks. I mean, Earl Campbell was pretty impactful with the Oilers, huh?
Yeah.
What did they do that year?
I want to say they made the AFC Championship game against Pittsburgh.
They went all the way to the AFC Championship
I'm trying to think if that was his first year or his second, because they went to back-to-back title games against the Steelers in the late 70s, and Campbell's rookie season was 7. It might have been his second year that they got in there.
Marino was good, but he didn't go nuts. He went nuts his second year.
Yeah, I don't think Marino started the first game his rookie year. I think David Woodley was still.
He was Woodley.
Yeah. Eric Dickerson. It was his second year he broke the record. That wasn't his rookie year. Jerry Rice was not, as a rookie, what he would become. I'm just going through great players in my head. Quarterbacks, Elway was not. Peyton Manning was not. Tom Brady didn't even play as a rookie.
They had 28 interceptions.
Pat Mahomes sat 15 games his rookie season.
If Peyton Manning had 28 interceptions, what would they want to do? He would not be allowed to have 28 interceptions.
No, they'd have put him on the bench.
Yeah.
They would have put him on the bench. No, you may have a point. I mean, especially when we talk about skill position people. You think about some of the great linemen that came in. Joe Green turned Pittsburgh completely around as the first pick of the draft. I mean, Joe Green, but not to this.
No.
They had to put the rest of that
Earl
group
Campbell,
around him.
78.
I think they made the AFC Championship game that year.
78?
I think they did, Jimmy. They lost back-to-back games to Pittsburgh, and one of those games was the controversial Mike Renfro was
think
inbound.
The Oilers regret that trade? I mean, that trade they gave up Tampa Bay. They gave Tampa Bay. He got Jimmy Giles. It was a nice tight end.
Giles was a very good tight end. Yeah. He wasn't Earl Campbell, but he was a
second-round pick,
Mm.
third and fifth.
No, I think they got their money's worth out of Earl Campbell. One of those games, I think the 79 game was the Renfro game, but they played them back.
No.
Was it the 78?
No.
game?
No. What I'm saying is the Renfro game was the second conference championship.
I think
that was not the first one.
That was 79. So
78 Oilers season.
Which I think was
they 10-6, won the wild card at the Dolphins, won divisional round at the Patriots, and lost 34-5 to the Seahawks. Yeah, they went all the way to the conference championship game.
Yeah, and he rushed probably 1,800 yards,
1,700,
17. Yeah,
it was 1,650, whatever.
Yeah, he was great. He was great right from the very beginning.
And that is a position to it's historically, and it's football. I mean, it's easiest. It's the most natural position, just running. We know about pass protection and things like that, but it's the most natural position to go from college. I mean, high school to college to pro. Just running the ball. But Charlie, who had the best season ever at LSU?
Joe Burrow. Or did Daniels actually? Well, Burrow was the 60 touchdowns. Daniels had more
Burrow, they
yards.
won the national championship.
They did.
He won the Heisman, and he was phenomenal.
Yes.
And we know all the stories behind sort of his leadership and his IQ and just the whole thing. Statistically, Daniels is better.
Daniels had a few more yards.
Charlie, Daniels threw more yards per attempt, and he rushed for 1,000 yards on top of it. He had a better season statistically.
Yeah.
Okay. And now, I mean, Cincinnati was bad, but Cincinnati was, I mean, he's doing it again. I mean, you can't compare Burrow's rookie season to Daniels. He got hurt. I get it, but I mean, they fell off, but I know it's sacrilegious around here.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? Because you asked me, Burrow's the best. I'm going to say Burrow's the best player ever come through here. I'm going to say it. You said it. I'm going to say it as well. But this guy, I mean, Burrow had a better supporting cast, had a little bit better defense, and had some. I mean,
he had a defense that was 1,000 times better. The wide receivers are comparable. They both had 2 first-round picks.
Still take Chase and Jefferson over.
But not by a huge margin.
No. They're point well taken. I mean, the rookie of this, where they going to be finished 1, 2, 3. The 3 LSU guys are probably going to finish 1, 2, 3. And
Bo Nix might sneak in there, but yeah, probably so. 1, 2, 3, 4, and Brock Bowers had a record-setting season.
They're finalists.
Yeah, they're all three
finalists.
All 3 are finalists.
And Bowers is great.
Yeah,
Bowers
those kids have had fantastic years. So we got a lot to talk about with Jayden Daniels. Another big game, which is this afternoon. The LSU women.
Daniels have a shot?
Huh?
They got a shot?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely, they got a shot.
They're not supposed to.
No, not even close to supposed to. LSU women this afternoon, underdogs in South Carolina by 16.5 points.
Come on,
undefeated, and
does a little general know this?
I'm certain somebody has brought this to her attention. It's bigger than what we thought. We thought this line would be closer to 9 or 10 or maybe 11, but it is 16.5. So did a little research this morning. This is going to shock you, but this is not a good matchup for LSU. Stop me if we've heard this one before. South Carolina is bigger and deeper. I'm going to run a couple numbers by you, and then we'll move on. But
16.5.
For 16, okay. First of all, South Carolina is bigger. They have multiple 6'3", 6'4" post players. LSU is going to start Samaya Smith again today. She's 6'2". Anissa Morrow is going to get hers, even though she's about 6'1" if she stands up real straight. And Morrow's a great player. But South Carolina is going to come at you in waves. They don't have a 6'7" player like Cardosa. They don't have an Aaliyah Boston, but they've got 4, maybe 5 really good post players. They're deeper than LSU. They go 10 deep. They are bringing their. Tell me if you ever heard about this. Their top 2 scorers come off the bench. Now, I've heard of a leading scorer come off the bench from occasionally. Tari Eason, I think, led LSU in scoring a few years back, coming off the bench. Kevin McHale might have been the second leading scorer in the Celtics when he was a 6th man of the year, but not 2. No, I've never heard of that. Their 2 leading scorers come off the bench. Are they catching South Carolina in a good spot? They beat Oklahoma on Sunday by 41. Oklahoma is ranked number 13 in the country. They beat them by 41. And here's another one. South Carolina has won. Let me just ask you, how many games do you think they've won in a row at home? When's the last time you think they got beat at home?
100.
It's not quite that many, but you're close. It's 68 straight.
All right.
And 84 out of 85. They lost 1 in the COVID year. So it's been 6 years since they lost a game at home in front of a full building. So the ladies got their work cut out for them today. They're a big underdog, but there's a reason. South Carolina.
Where's preseason LSU, even with all their tradition? Where were they ranked?
7, I think it was.
Where are they ranked now?
5th.
That's it?
Yeah.
Go undefeated, and that's all. There's a light non-conference schedule.
Yeah, but they've beaten some good teams. They beat Tennessee, who was a top 12 team, conference. I think. Yeah. The non-conference.
This is a sport where you don't. It's not football. You don't get beat up, and they don't. You're going to get in a tournament. and I'm worried about that loss column just as much. Usually she schedules tougher.
They beat one ranked team in NC State. I think they believed that Stanford would be ranked when they scheduled them. They ended up not being. Stanford's usually pretty good. But no, Washington was actually
you go
close.
20, Charlie. You go from 7 to 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's tough.
That's you won't tell me that's not common.
No, because the women's game is so incredibly hard at the top. UCLA is undefeated. Carolina's lost one game to UCLA. USC, who's got the best player in the game, has lost one game.
When South Carolina beat LSU, I took South Carolina against the field for plus 120. I thought that was the best value I've ever had on a play ever.
And Caitlin Clark beat you?
She didn't beat me.
They didn't beat South Carolina?
Are you kidding me? They opened up a 10-0 lead and got drilled by 16 or so.
No, I meant the year LSU won it. You talking about last year?
Last year.
Oh, last year. I thought you meant 2 years ago. My bad.
Oh boy, I've been away from you too long.
Texas is the number 7 team. Really? Texas is number 7 team in the country right now.
I saw a little bit of that.
South Carolina beat them by 17. About 10 days ago. So
okay, but is Texas as good as LSU? And LSU's catching 16.5.
16.5.
A lot. It's a lot.
It is a lot for an undefeated team. That's
Anybody know how to get a bet down around here?
I know a guy who knows a guy.
I got a guy.
What's for lunch?
You got a guy. I got 5 outs. Oysters, LaFouche, the panko fried oysters, the jumbo lump crab meat with the Worcestershire Crystal hot sauce cream. How about that? The Worcestershire Crystal hot sauce cream sauce. Okay. Well, go ahead, Oyster LaFouche. Pork bellies. Yes, indeed. The fig and hoisin glazing. The glaze with the parsnip puree, pickled apple with shaved relish. Our entree features today here at Ruffino's is our fish feature today. It's a pan-seared halibut with jumbo lump crab meat with béarnaise sauce with a side of asparagus. Suggested wine pairing is a Bayou Chardonnay out of Napa Valley. The pork chop a la vodka, panko and Parmesan crusted pork chop, vodka tomato cream sauce, Italian cheese blend with fresh basil and capellini pasta. Wine pairing, La Crema Pinot Noir from Sonoma Coast and the Sonoma Napa area as well. Ruffino's Old Elk with a cold day like today. Warm your belly. Ruffino's exclusive hand-picked single barrel select bourbon is always available over here and delicious at this time of the year. Here at Ruffino's.
Live at Ruffino's, live at lunch. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
The action is heating up this playoff season at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Lock in your touchdown picks, check out trending parlays, and increase your winnings with profit boosts. New customers can get up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. And unlock 30 days of ESPN Plus. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code RADIO to get started today. Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700. In partnership with Ladarius Lake Charles. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
With over 40 years in business representing the same manufacturer, Gulf Coast Office Products is committed to bringing 7 office equipment solutions to the Louisiana market. With flexible leasing programs available, Gulf Coast can accommodate your budget and customize invoicing requirements to help streamline your business. As official partners of LSU and ULL Athletics, 7 and Gulf Coast with over 100 employees care about our community and their customers. You're just one phone call away. 225-756-2644 for a free analysis. Gulf Coast Office Products.
Do you feel like you get hurt at the most inconvenient times? Brock's After Hours Clinic has you covered for a break, sprain, or strain. Open 7 days a week, nights and weekends. Walk-ins welcome. Learn more, brortho.com.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, Big Cheesy Lou, and those Louis Original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
Get Moss Max and less text during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and Dip Trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, or cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
GMFS, changing lives. T. Brown here, CEO of GMFS Mortgage, which we started in Baton Rouge in 1999. Thanks to you, we're celebrating our 25th anniversary. That's 25 years of helping thousands of you get into your dream homes, 25 years of helping thousands of you refinance to the best rate possible, and 25 years of helping many of you consolidate debts. The last 25 years would not have been possible without you, our clients, and our over 200 employees who come together every day through our Baton Rouge area offices and headquarters to provide you with award-winning customer service. If you're in the market to buy, build, renovate, or refinance, do what thousands of Louisianans have done over the past 25 years. Go to gmfsmortgage.com to start the process now and give us a chance to personally say thank you. GMFS, changing lives.
GMFS NMLS number 64997 is an equal housing lender. Mortgages are originated at 7389 Florida Boulevard, Suite 200A, Baton Rouge, LA 70806, subject to credit and property approval.
Need more space? Workbox LLC has the storage solutions you can count on. Whether you're a homeowner, commercial contractor, or industrial business, we have the space for you. Our secure, versatile storage units are ready to meet your needs. Contractors, keep your site organized and efficient. Store your materials with us and access them anytime you need. Businesses, industries of any size, Workbox LLC is your trusted partner for flexible, safe storage. Workbox 343-4886 and workboxllc.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Do business with someone you know. Parish Construction and Roofing.
Parishgroup.com.
Live at lunch with Odd and Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 1045 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Remember, you can always get the show on demand, LouisianaSports.net.
Let me get to this guy.
I was going
to get to this guy.
LouisianaSports.net, 1045ESPN.com. And now Jimmy Ott would like to fuss at our guest.
Come on, Chris. What's up, buddy? I said, man, Charlie goes, well, what you got with Chris? I said, he lives a damn perfect life. I'm envious. I mean, San Diego, Pacific Beach, Del Mar, and he gets bored. He goes to Vegas. Tough life.
We're on fire. We're on fire right now, Jimmy. We're on fire. Chula Vista is on fire. The border's on fire. LA's on fire. I'm getting my my own personal sprinkler system ready to go just in case the fires come to the beach. I'm going to be the last house standing. It's crazy out here right now.
Seriously, it's spreading like threats all the way down there. Is that what's going on?
No, the fires from LA aren't coming down here, but there's a massive. I mean, we don't have to get into the whole situation, but these fires are. We'll just say they're not just spontaneously just popping up. I mean, it's some crazy nefarious stuff going on, and there's just a lot of. I mean, it's just unbelievable, and the wind does make them go a little crazy, and it makes them hard to put out. But it's just if they didn't start in the first place, we'd be in better shape.
Well, I mean, a 15-minute drive, maybe 20 to Torrey Pines. That's the scenic route. I saw those cats dealing with that wind yesterday. That was crazy.
Yeah, they shut it down early.
Yeah. I mean, that was.
And they moved the Genesis there for next month.
But I watched the Buick, or it's now the Farmers. I mean, I've taken. It's kind of a little tour. We started Del Mar. We just boom. We go hit Torrey Pines. We hit PB. We hit Oscars, the best street tacos. We go all the way down to the Hotel Del in Coronado. It's my little tour for the first timers that come out there with me, and I just have never seen wind. It was bizarre, man. So stay safe. But anyway, we were on the beach in Pacific Beach, and that's kind of the party area. It's the only area where you kind of see a little bit of trash on the ground, maybe a little. It's not totally pristine like La Jolla and Del Mar, but it's got action. And we're on that, and you are selling me. And I was like, listen, I saw Daniels go from one year to the next in college. he might take a couple of years and to get it going. But you were hell bent on Washington, and you got some futures. And what's the name of that damn place? I know you tell me all the time, but Pacific Beaches, where you had to tell a lady, hey, hey, lady, it's your first time drinking.
Yeah, Lahaina.
Lahaina. So you were trying to sell me on Washington that day.
Yeah, well, this is before I knew anything about this virtual reality training that apparently he wakes up every morning and runs through game film at 1.75 speed. It's just been pretty impressive, everything he's done. He's just the one thing that I've noticed, and a lot of other people have noticed too, is just how calm and composed he is when things are going crazy or speeding up in the game. He just seems to be like totally chill. And I know me and you've texted about it before. You said like that's just how his attitude's always been. He's just a composed kid. He's got everything under control. And when other guys are getting happy feet or seeing ghosts, he's just calm and cool and collected. And he's been doing it the whole season and now in the playoffs with 2 road wins. The reason I obviously liked him coming out of LSU, but the main reason I really liked Washington was just the overhaul in the coaching staff. I mean, you got Dan Quinn, who's won Tom Brady, amazing comeback away from being a Super Bowl winning coach. You had some really quality guys on the staff, ex-head coaches, Anthony Lynn, Cliff Kingsbury. You brought Joe Witt over as defensive coordinator from Dallas. And if you remember last year how opportunistic the Dallas Cowboy defense was, and just to bring that over with all these other guys. You had Bobby Ingram, wide receiver coach, William Gay, DB coach, the linebacker coaches like Ken Norton and Ryan Kerrigan. These are quality players that are now installed as coaches on a team that had a lot of talent. I just thought in that division, I was very down on Dallas, and obviously the Giants weren't going to be in. So I just figured that, the thing I was selling you on was the Philadelphia Eagles, Washington Commanders exact either way. And, we hit that early. We had over the, Washington win total, had them to make the playoffs. And fortunately right now, and I sent it to Charlie last week on X, I have a 40-1 ticket on Washington to win the NFC. So very excited about the games this weekend, and hopefully they can pull it off.
Philadelphia opened up, was it 4.5? It's been bet up to 6 now, and even it's some light juice on Washington here at our local book at the Queen, the DraftKings outlet. It's plus 6 minus 108, 47.5. Chris, what you thinking?
Well, if I didn't have the future, I would definitely be leaning towards Washington. I just think, looking at how Jalen Hurts looked at the end of that game where he could barely walk off the field. He got his legs trapped underneath him, both of them on that one play. And, everyone says he practiced fully yesterday, but we'll see. I don't know. They're not usually running those practices at full speed. I just feel like he's going to be unable to do the tush push, which he, didn't do last game. And, you got to figure that if his knees are hurting and he's not going to be able to run out of the pocket, not be able to do the tush push, that's a huge factor in their offense. They've also seemed to be not on the same page with the wide receivers. A.J. Brown dropping that pass last week. The week before, he's reading the book. So I know they have Barkley. I know he's been unbelievable, and I know Washington has trouble stopping the run. But I figure they're gonna be able to sell out a little bit more to stop the run due to the fact that I think Hurts is a little banged up. And you just got to hope that, Jayden Daniels in the Washington offense can put up the points that they put up the last couple times against Philly. In the first game, they were leading. Barkley broke it off late in the fourth quarter, but they kind of controlled that first game. And in the second game, Hurts got hurt, but the defense didn't pose much of a problem for Daniels. He lit him up that game. So I think this is going to be an over. I lead in the over in this game, and if I didn't have the future, I would definitely be on the Washington side. I think they can keep this miracle run, keep it going.
All right, just because it's supposed to be a spot where the bubble bursts, like we're looking at you're pretty good. The best rookie season ever, most impactful rookie season ever. I got to go back to 1978 with Earl Campbell. He's a rookie, and the Oilers actually went to the conference championship game against the Steelers. Now, running back is easier for a player to break through from one level to the next. Highs go to college to pro, but he certainly was as impactful. or close to it. This is hard for a quarterback as impactful. So
I agree. But I've also seen another quarterback. It wasn't his rookie year. It was his second year as calm and composed as Daniels, and that is Mr. Tom Brady, who was able to take his team.
We're talking rookie.
The first two games, and they were in the same type of record. They ended up 11-5. They won a road game at Pittsburgh. They were in the Super Bowl against the Rams, and they were 14-point underdogs, and they got the victory. It was the same type of gritty defensive coach, Belichick and Quinn. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but at this point in the season, nobody's a rookie anymore. You won 2 road games. They weren't fluky wins. They just dominated the best team in the NFL for the past 2 seasons, the Detroit Lions. I am not putting anything past Daniels, his coaching staff. Yeah, maybe Barkley runs for 200 yards and it's a blowout, but I don't think it's a bubble burst type of situation. I think this is going to be a tight game throughout. I would definitely take the points, and I think they can still. I could still see them winning. And if I didn't think they could win, I would have took the cash out that DraftKings has offered me, which I'm not taking. So let's go, Washington. Let's see if they can pull it off.
Here's one we missed. Somebody just sent me this. Randy Moss, rookie year.
Randy Moss. Yes. No. Randy Moss.
Third in the voting for the MVP. Yes. Vikings went 15-1. That one's in the conversation.
No. Randy, maybe the best.
17 touchdowns, receptions, led the league, third highest in receiving yards, third in the voting for MVP.
That's when they lost to the Falcons.
They were 15-1 in the regular season.
Those are the three. Mm-hmm. Just stick to the program here, sir. We're not trying to slide in second-year quarterbacks. And I was in a Superdome. Okay,
Chris, if you missed this, I mean,
hey, the cheapest ticket was 9/11, but they were selling tickets for $50 on the street. On point.
Oh, you could walk right in. I was there. I actually got a friend of mine worked for a company that my friend worked for, and he was friends with Shane Matthews, the ex-Florida quarterback, who was the backup for the Bears at the time, and he gave us his 2 tickets for free. They were way up top, but they were in the end zone where Vinatieri kicked the field goal. So as soon as it was off his foot, I knew we won. And wow, what a night on Bourbon Street! I didn't even have a place to stay, but that was when the winning kicked off in the Massachusetts-Boston area. That was the first one, and I'll never forget it. And I'm just telling you, there's crazy.
All right, Buffalo, Kansas City, or some college basketball tomorrow. We're up against the break. Who we got?
Listen. No one wants to see Kansas City in there, but I am a little nervous. They got a couple of injuries. Taylor Rapp's already out, the strong safety. They got their right corner, Christian Benford. He's questionable. Nickel corner, Teron Johnson's questionable. Milano's questionable. I just don't know. I just think I don't know. Kansas City's not playing great, but they seem to always win. I'm not rooting for Kansas City, so I would kind of pass on this game. Maybe you do like last week. I advised do a teaser either way with whoever you like. With maybe the over in the Washington Eagles game. I'm like the rest of the country. We're not rooting for Kansas City, but I am a little worried about Buffalo's defense. It wasn't too sharp last week, and now they got 3 or 4 guys questionable. So might be a tough task going into Kansas City. You got to deal with Mahomes, the refs, Kelsey, Taylor Swift. It's just a tough call.
Oh, they're bringing in reinforcements like they need them from Caitlin Clark as well. There you go. Nothing.
I got a basketball game for you tonight, though. This number opened 4.5 Purdue, and they're saying probably Purdue. They're not going to lose 2 in a row at home. But I think this Michigan team, they came off a tough loss against Minnesota. They rebounded, but they've lost 4 games all year. They lost to Minnesota by 3, Oklahoma by 1, Arkansas by 2, Wake by 2. So that's 4 games by a total of 8 points. And I just think the number is a little questionable. You would think it would be a little bit higher with Purdue at home after they just lost. You figure they're not going to lose 2 in a row. But I think it's a spot to take Michigan. I took them plus 4.5 last night. And I think they're going to win the game outright. Just they're kind of begging you to take Purdue here with a short number. And I think Michigan goes in there and gets the win tonight.
Ohio State hit some unbelievable shots. They went on fire in that second half comeback against Purdue. That cost me on the other night, my money line parlay. All right, stay safe, brother. Good luck this weekend. We'll talk to you next week. Thank you, Chris.
All right, sounds great, guys. Talk to you soon.
All right, don't forget our friends at Legacy Title. Chad Reynolds, a Legacy Title for all of your real estate closings. 296-0060. Full-service title company servicing all of South Louisiana. Fast, friendly, professional service. It's what you get you every time you call 296-0060. A great team at Legacy Title. Ashley Donald, Mariana Haynes, Adrian Galato, Michael Platt. Buying, building, refinancing. Nobody chooses but you. Choose Chad Reynolds, a Legacy Title. 296-0060.
Live at Ruffino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Shop can't miss deals going on now during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. For a limited time, get a free adjustable stand when you buy a DeWalt 12-inch miter saw. That's a $229 value. Plus, save $680 on a Midea 4-piece kitchen appliance suite. Now just $17.96. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 113 through 124. Cannot be combined with additional discounts while supplies last. See store or Lowe's.com for more details and qualifying items.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a walk-up with central air and a skylight, and you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbors' dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Tracks.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV.
Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. See your Super Chevy dealers today.
The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill, Wesley across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games, just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
Stretch your grocery dollar at your High Neighbor Supermarkets. USDA Select T-bone steak, $7.99 a pound. Lean St. Louis style pork ribs, $2.49 a pound. Snow crab leg cluster, $7.99 a pound. Farm fresh extra large green bell peppers, 2 for $1. Oh yeah, we've got them. Those scrumptious king cakes. Hattie Pryor, tell us about the 3 P's at High Neighbor.
The prices, the people, and the products.
High Neighbor, be a money saver. High Neighbor.
You ready to take your boat to the next level? Power up with Front to Back Boat Service. We here at Front to Back are so thankful that for so many years you have trusted us for all of your boat maintenance and repairs. Check it out. Any marine electronics, shallow water anchors, lithium batteries, cutting edge forward facing sonar, all of it. The experts at Front to Back Boat Service have you covered. From bow to stern, Front to Back makes sure you stay ready for your next adventure on the water. Visit Front to Back Boat Service today, and let's make your boat the best it can be.
Did your doctor prescribe physical therapy? And when you went to the location closest to your house, did they really work on you to get rid of your problem? Or did they take you through a list of exercises you could find on Google? Ladies and gentlemen, that is not physical therapy. My name is Robbie Bolton, owner of Evolve Physical Therapy and Sports. And if you're an active individual and you're having nagging knee pain with running, or your elbow or shoulder hurts with tennis or hitting a volleyball, don't go to someone's one of many locations. Come to the location. Evolve Physical Therapy and Sports on Starring Lane.
At Custom Colors Body and Paint, we're excited to have Will Rapp and Ian McKnight on our team. They're continuing the tradition of exceptional service that Billy Rapp and Pete McKnight began back in 1987. Custom Colors, located in the Industrial Plex off Seagan.
This new year, we resolve to get you the roll-off dumpster you need for your project. Start your new year outright. Visit trashrangers.com and make the switch today.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
Jimmy, Charlie, and Troy. 3 best buddies sitting around talking sports bets. Let's welcome in Troy Macker from Bet Rivers.
All right, Troy, role reversal. We're shoveling snow down here, and you're getting ready to cheer on Jayden Daniels in a big game this weekend, huh? Y'all excited up
Yeah, how
there?
do you like that? Yeah, just a little bit. It's a very unique scenario for us. There's just incredible amounts of joy, happiness. Everyone's getting excited. And again, it's been 33 years. You know, I was 6 years old the last time they were in a spot like this. I barely remember it. This is the most anticipated football game in 3 decades. It's probably the biggest Commanders-Eagles game of all time. Couldn't pick a better opponent for such a big game. There's a lot of rivalry between Philadelphia and Washington, so just super excited from a fan standpoint.
You think they got a shot?
How can you not? After how they played over the last 6 weeks, I think it comes down to the health of Jalen Hurts. I think it comes down to how the Commanders, try to defend Jalen Carter with Sam Cosmi not being in the lineup on the offensive line. I think it comes down to how they defend Saquon Barkley, who's been just a freak this season, and especially the last 2 weeks. But the Commanders have played so well, and they've won close games, and Jayden Daniels has looked every bit the part of future MVP. How can you not think that they have a chance? Certainly, they're 6-point favorites, so they're not expected to win, but they were, 10-point underdogs last week. So I don't know how you can't have at least a glimmer of hope, even if you're not a fan of the team, that they can win, because all they've done is win games over the last 6 or 7 weeks, and they've looked very impressive doing it.
There's no doubt. Philadelphia's got the better defense, but the Skins, Commandos have a better quarterback right now.
No, they got the much better quarterback. His point about Cosmi, Jalen Carter's a problem. Okay, he is one of the most disruptive interior defensive people in the league.
So
right now.
He dictated how that first game went on Thursday night in Philadelphia, where they rushed 4, got pressure with 4, and therefore they could show extra attention to McLaurin, and he had 1 catch, 2 targets. Well, what happened the second game? He played.
They marched down the field.
What happened there?
I think there are two important things. One, it was at home. It was a far more important game for the Commanders at the time than the Eagles. Certainly, it was every regular season game is important. And 2, I really think that Jalen Hurts getting injured changed the complexion of that game. There was no rhythm on either side of the ball for the Eagles. I think the Eagles were kind of shocked by that, and not just for the game, but the prospect of losing Jalen Hurts for multiple games. And the Commanders were able to dictate that game. They really shut down Saquon Barkley, but I think it did bleed over into the defense, where the momentum shift. You now have all the things going right for the offense. You can, lean heavily on what the Commanders have done well, which is long drive. So I do talk a lot of that up to the Jalen Hurts injury. And I think playing in Philadelphia is a far more difficult task than playing at Northwest FedEx Field, whatever they're calling it nowadays.
Charlie, we were together watching a game with Mahoney and his legendary bartender, Squirrel, who Squirrel will drive you absolutely crazy, but he was the first to alert us that Jalen Hurts may have been concussed. But do you remember what I pointed out to you? That A.J. Brown, I said, Charlie, look what he's doing. He is putting his book back in his book backpack.
Yeah.
He's putting the book away. He's about to get targeted. Kenny Pickett threw Tim Troy like 8 straight down.
15 targets in that game.
15 targets in all. Kenny Pickett just went right at him and said, you ain't reading the book today, man. We're throwing to you over and over and over. Unbelievable. So, but how is it, man? Man, people got to be – Schneider's out. The new owner. They're chanting the owner's name. How often does that happen?
Yeah.
In sports?
Rarely.
I can't ever remember.
They say the owner's name in DC a lot. It's just not for the right reasons. And I'm not an overly religious fan, but it's hard not to think that there's something else at play here. That this is a team of destiny. Daniel Snyder was ousted before last season, but he still had his head coach. He still had his GM. They still had quarterbacks and draft picks that under the Snyder regime. This is the first full year where there's no stench of Dan Snyder. There's no fingerprints. They've all been cleaned and washed. And the Commanders are one game away from the Super Bowl. I have to think that there's some otherworldly spirits taking place because it just makes too much sense, right?
This line is moving up, Troy. What is it? All Eagles action that we're seeing at Bet Rivers right now?
No, not really. 65% of the money and 57% of the tickets is on the Eagles to win. But right now, 66% of the money and 68% of the tickets are on the Commanders.
On the
so
spread,
even from a
okay.
money line standpoint, yeah, on the spread, it's 66% of the money and 68% tickets on the Commanders. Right now they're +6. It's been at +5.5. I really haven't seen it at +5 or +7, and I would be surprised if it gets to 6.5.
Buffalo, Kansas City. Where's the money? Split?
No, it is pretty heavily on the Bills, at least the cover. Split money on the money line, 53% of the money, 53% of the tickets on the Bills. But as on the spread, 70% of the money and 67% of the tickets on the Bills to cover. That is pretty strong for a playoff game between teams number 1 and number 2 in the playoffs. So, and the over/under, 65% of the money, 79% of the tickets on over. Just very fascinating because no one was backing Buffalo. All the money was on the Ravens last week. And now it's the road team Buffalo going into one of the hardest places to play against a team they haven't been able to beat in the NFC Championship game. So a little surprised that there's such a strong backing of the Bills, given that all the Chiefs do is win, especially in this spot.
Can I ask you guys a question? I know this is 2 now, but if it pops back to 1.5, I get this question a lot. Is it a better value to take the +1.5 on the odd chance that it lands a 1-point game, or is it better to take the Bills on the money line if you like Buffalo?
So you have to see the result.
Yeah, well,
it's a small risk, but it happens about that many times. So I mean,
+108 on the money line is what we're looking at right now. Would you, do you want the point or do you want the juice? Troy, you got an opinion?
I don't, Charlie.
Typically, I think it depends on the team is playing. Typically, I would take the plus money, even if it's just a little bit. But because it's Mahomes, but because it's the Chiefs, all they do is win close games. There's going to be some sort of chicanery and some sort of penalties that go the wrong way. I think their games are more nip and tuck than any other team in the NFL over the last 5 or 6 years in terms of they play so many close, important games that I would probably take that extra half point or 1.5, rather than a +108 on the money line.
Maybe so. It's it happens enough to kind of to make you wonder. I mean, it usually no. That's what it's going to fall 1. But I'll never forget that plane ride over to Auburn, Alabama in 2004. Big E, who do you like? Well, LSU is. I mean, Auburn is 1.5 against LSU. LSU's coming off their first national championship in 45 years. I like LSU, but not to win the game. Oh, really? You like it to fall 1? Where'd it fall, Charlie?
It fell 1.
Where'd it fall?
Took one of the most bizarre calls of all time, and it fell 1.
It fell 1. Troy, anything else that sticks out the action this weekend before we let you go?
Yeah, not much other than everyone is backing Saquon Barkley to score a touchdown. 7% of all game tickets is on Barkley to score a touchdown. My issue is that it's -250. That is a heavy price for anytime touchdown score. And as long as Jalen Hurts is healthy, unless Saquon is ripping off 25, 50-yard touchdowns, which he's done, if it's in the red zone, he's not going to get touches. If it's on the goal line, where the ball's going, and it's not Saquon Barkley. So there are enough scenarios in which he won't be the person to score the touchdown. And that is such a short price at -250 for a touchdown score that I would probably stay away from that. Unless you're going to parlay.
Follow Troy on Twitter at Troy Macker. That's MACHIR. Troy, enjoy the Skins, Commanders, Washington football team. Enjoy the game this weekend. We're pulling for y'all, man.
Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. At Lofton Staffing Services, we match hard workers with the most sought-after employers. To Lofton, you're more than just another employee. We care about your interests. We'll match you with a company that needs your skills. You can complete an application, schedule an interview, even browse jobs at lofton.jobs. Lofton also offers an unlimited $100 referral bonus. Lofton Staffing Services, we've been putting people to work since 1979. Lofton Staffing Services, 924-0200 and lofton.jobs.
Live at Ruffino's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Thibodeau Store and ThibodeauStore.com. You have one of those tool sheds or maybe in your garage. It's just an absolute mess. You got stuff thrown out all over the floor, all over tables. Take control of your cluttered garage with shop storage and organizers from the Thibodeau Store. Racks that you can hang all of your tools on to go up on the walls. Lots of shelving and storage space available at the Thibodeau Store. You know, when you shop online, you're going to get online specials that are available from the Thibodeau Store. Your small heaters are on special right now, 15% off. Extension cords, 30% off right now. Channel lock toolboxes, 25% off right now. And so many services that go along with your hardware stores, but with a little bit of an extra touch. Key cutting, paint matching, propane services, screen and glass repair. Thibodeau Store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodaux. Online, find them at ThibodeauStore.com.
There are trucks, then there's the truck. GMC Sierra, with available features like the V8 engine, the ultimate luxury interior, and of course, the available world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra, not just any truck, the truck. GMC's continued commitment to professional-grade engineering is on full display at your Bayou GMC dealer. Come take a test drive today and see for yourself. We are professional-grade GMC.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Guarantee Media is hiring. Come join the company that's been named as one of the best places to work in Baton Rouge. Local and committed to your career growth. Visit GuaranteeMedia.com, an equal opportunity employer. GuaranteeMedia.com.
Rouse's Markets has been baking Mardi Gras king cakes for 65 years. Their king cake crew bakes more than 600,000 king cakes during carnival season. You can smell that gourmet cinnamon dough throughout the store. Rouse's makes traditional king cakes and filled king cakes and new specialty king cake flavors every year. Send someone a taste of Mardi Gras. Rouse's ships their award-winning king cakes anywhere in the continental U.S. Order at Rouses.com, official supermarket of the Saints.
We are thrilled to announce that Ruffino's has been nominated for the Advocates Best at Baton Rouge, and you can vote now for Ruffino's Best Wine Selection, Best Date Night Spot, and Best Italian Restaurant. We're also happy to have Delaron Hall nominated for Best Catering and Best Event Venue. Vote now in the Advocates Best of Baton Rouge through January 24th. Visit VoteBatonRouge.com. VoteBatonRouge.com. And thanks for making Ruffino's the place where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
This is Charles Hanniger for Home Bank. If you're tired of the impersonal, one-size-fits-all style of banking, you deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for your businesses and families because they go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business and good for life. Stop by any South Louisiana, Houston, or Natchez area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
If you live in Ascension or Livingston Parish, you need one of our red cans this new year. Just make the switch. It's a perfect New Year's resolution. Visit TrashRangers.com and make the switch today.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Back here at Ruffino's. Here's an interesting note for college basketball tomorrow. Janai Broome is a game-time decision for Auburn tomorrow against Tennessee.
Don't rush it back, man.
That's what Bruce Pearl said.
Come on,
Practice
Bruce.
yesterday, wants to play.
Of course he wants to play.
Yeah, he
well,
does.
You're the adult, Bruce.
We were expecting him back middle of February, this is 3 weeks early.
If he plays, Charlie, 10 minutes, 15. I mean, come on. I mean, what's his percent? I mean, this is.
I have no idea.
This is not a sport where you rush back.
There's no need for him to rush back. Their seeding is not of utmost importance. They're going to be a protected seed no matter what. I understand this is going to be just the biggest. 1 versus 6 tomorrow at Auburn. Alabama going in there when the two of those teams in the last couple of years ranked higher than that. I mean, Auburn's only been number 1 a handful of weeks. So this is one
Auburn
of the biggest
last year
games
against
ever.
Kentucky was a big one.
Yeah, this is one of the biggest home
one.
games ever on the Auburn campus. I get it, but you got bigger stuff in your.
They got plenty before and plenty after. This is like a dime a dozen this year. Check out their schedule. Alabama. You gonna think the Tennessee game is a bigger game than Alabama? Who's better, Alabama or Tennessee?
Right now, Alabama is.
But they're close.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who
do they hate more?
They hate Alabama.
Okay. All right. They coming, right? They play home and home, right?
They do.
This is not the biggest game on the season, much less before or after.
I'm not the one that's trying to play him.
Bigger fish to fry, Bruce.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Did he have
Bruce
a fish
Pearl's the
fry or
coach of the
barbecue in
team.
his house in Knoxville?
Oh, it was on a boat. I remember that. Hour number 2, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Here's your tennis court storm fade. Yeah. She played.
Live at lunch.
It's a new year. Aren't you ready to finally get the IRS off your back? Hi, I'm attorney Kerry Bryson with the Bryson Law Firm. We've helped so many people figure out their IRS issues, and they always tell us they wish they'd called us sooner. Friends, the IRS isn't going away. Matter of fact, they're ramping up their efforts. So now's the time to call the Bryson Law Firm and let us get between you and the IRS and make your life better. If you have wage levies, bank levies, tax liens, or unpaid taxes, call the Bryson Law Firm and let us get out in front of the IRS and devise your best resolution plan. IRS problems are legal problems. So call the Bryson Law Firm. We're local. Our headquarters are in Lafayette, and we have offices statewide. Or visit BrysonLawFirm.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Bryson Law Firm. Results may vary. LSBA filing number LA2316155.
Shop can't miss deals going on now during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. For a limited time, get a free adjustable stand when you buy a DeWalt 12-inch miter saw. That's a $229 value. Plus, save $680 on a Mightier 4-piece kitchen appliance suite. Now just $17.96. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 113 through 124. Cannot be combined with additional discounts while supplies last. See store or Lowe's.com for more details and qualifying items.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a walk-up with central air and a skylight, and you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbors' dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Looking for some time away but don't want to go too far? The Cook Hotel at LSU is just what you've been searching for. Book your getaway today and enjoy a peaceful escape overlooking the University Lake in any of their luxurious guest rooms or suites. Their newly renovated bar is back open for service, and they're located near some of the best restaurants in town. Visit thecookhotel.com or call 225-383-2665 to book your stay today.
Craving something unforgettable? Head to P.F. Chang's for the Golden Feast, featuring Korean fried chicken wings and bubbles. Perfect for any occasion. Visit us today off Corporate Boulevard in Town Center. P.F. Chang's. Look for the Golden Horse.
GMFS, changing lives.
T. Brown here, CEO of GMFS Mortgage, which we started in Baton Rouge in 1999. Thanks to you, we're celebrating our 25th anniversary. That's 25 years of helping thousands of you get into your dream homes, 25 years of helping thousands of you refinance to the best rate possible, and 25 years of helping many of you consolidate debts. The last 25 years would not have been possible without you, our clients, and our over 200 employees who come together every day through our our Baton Rouge area offices and headquarters to provide you with award-winning customer service. If you're in the market to buy, build, renovate, or refinance, do what thousands of Louisianans have done over the past 25 years. Go to gmfsmortgage.com to start the process now and give us a chance to personally say thank you.
GMFS, changing lives.
GMFS NMLS number 64997 is an equal housing lender. Mortgages are originated at 7389 Florida Boulevard, Suite 200A, Baton Rouge, LA 70806, subject to credit and property approval.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Otten Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Here at Ruffino's, live at lunch. Come on by and see us here for lunchtime today. You've been cooped up all week. Come out and enjoy lunch with us here at Ruffino's.
We're glad to be open, man. We're closed over here at Ruffino's on Tuesday and Wednesday like everybody else. Of course, we're snowed in. We're like Bruce Marshall in Switzerland, just snowed in over here. So Ruffino's, our appetizer features today, the oysters Lafouche. Panko fried oysters with the jumbo lump crab meat with a Worcestershire and crystal hot sauce cream. Pork belly, our signature dish over here, award-winning signature dish with the fig and hoisin glaze, parsnip puree, pickled apple, and shaved radish. Entree features today, our fish is a pan-seared halibut with jumbo lump crab meat with béarnaise sauce and a side of asparagus. Suggested wine pairing is a Bayou Chardonnay out of Napa, and the pork chop a la vodka. Panko and Parmesan crusted pork chop, vodka tomato cream sauce with Italian cheese blend with fresh basil and capellini pasta. Wine pairing, La Crema Pinot Noir out of Sonoma Coast. Is that with Johnny Vodka? Was that his name? What was the guy?
That was him. The one that
got sold
opted
out about 5 weeks into his Circa Survivor.
Did we ever find out if he got any money? Did they?
This is named after him. Pork chop.
Yeah.
A la vodka. Bruce Marshall joins us right now. Brucey, how you doing, buddy?
Well, I'm going to come have lunch with you guys one of these days. That sounds too good every week. But your weather this week, if it's going to snow in Baton Rouge, it's going to snow in Biloxi and Destin, Florida. I was going to blame that on Ohio State winning the national title. But no, I blame it on the Dodgers winning the World Series. Okay, look what happens when the Dodgers win. All this weather, all hell breaks loose, snowing in Baton Rouge. So I blame the Dodgers.
Well, the Dodgers are they're just piling up again, huh? I mean, just loading up the roster even more. I mean, they signed a few more guys. So
Japan's been a nice farm system for them.
Yes, it certainly had. They've always. Bruce, with the Dodgers history with Fernando, remember they had the premier Mexican or Latin American scouting service when it was basically just go and find. They have a little bit of history in this, and now it's shifted to the Asian parts.
Well, yeah. Now, I mean, they're bringing Sasaki over, but Mike Brito was the guy, with Fernando and bringing, involved with him coming up. So, I got a few more months to worry about baseball. Then the Dodger hate will really rev up, but it's still there. It's just been a little late the last couple of months, but it's still there.
Bruce, you're our historian, and we have been throwing it around. Jayden Daniels with Washington. They were 4-13 last year. He's going to be Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's had a great season there in the conference championship game. I remember Earl Campbell. The Oilers were not great the year before. He got them to the conference championship game, different position, but he rushed for 1,700 yards. The Rams, Eric Dickerson, they were coming off that strike year, so it's kind of a funky year to come off of. But he rushed for 1,800 yards, and they got to the divisional round. Lawrence Taylor, they won a playoff game that year from the defensive side. Or even Ronnie Lott, the most impactful or best rookie season or combination of the two ever in the NFL.
It could be.
Oh, Randy Moss. I forgot Randy Moss. I'm sorry. Randy Moss, too. They went 15-1 that year. Yeah.
Well, let's also let's limit it to quarterbacks too. And Daniels he's quickly becoming like my favorite quarterback I've ever watched. I mean, he is really, he's close to Elway and already. But I'm going back in quarterbacks, their first year. Quarterbacks. I'll go back 60 years on you here. The only one, Dak Prescott had a pretty good rookie year with Dallas in 2016. But he was just a bit player. I mean, wasn't a bit player, but that was a run team with Zeke. Everything else was working. He also got knocked out of the playoffs right out of the box. Sanchez and Flacco got to the conference title game as rookies, but they were just sort of secondary components on teams that ran the ball and used their defense to get there. Big Ben got to a conference title game in 2004. He did a little bit more than Flacco and Sanchez did, and he looked like he belonged, but not quite like Daniels. They ended up losing that game to the Patriots. I think you have to go back to 83 when Dan Marino was a rookie for a quarterback to come in and look this good. But remember, Marino joined a team that had been off a Super Bowl appearance, and he didn't start for about the first month of that season. That was the old LSU guy, David Woodley, starting. And then Marino took over, but then he got knocked out of the playoffs in the first round. I maintain you've got to go back to Joe Namath in 65. And yes, I was young, but I remember, who looked like he belonged in pro football and totally comfortable as a rookie. Marino too, but I'm going back to Namath now for a rookie who looked this good and this comfy running a team as Daniels does. He is something special. And we mentioned last week when I was talking to Charlie, he's impervious to the pressure, it looks like. I mean, he just kind of smiles at it, and he's infectious. And I heard that about him at Arizona State, and you guys probably heard that about him at LSU. Players like him, and they rally around him. I think he's just a joy to watch.
If he would struggle, we'd be saying this guy doesn't even give a crap. I mean, he's wired like that. The poise aspect doesn't surprise us. And you know what's funny? That's the one that Max brought up as well. 65 Joe Namath season, Charlie, with the Jets. So
you know why I think that why I think the demeanor works so well. They respect his work ethic. They don't. If you get a guy that looks relaxed out there and he just it could be he doesn't give a crap. Well, that's not the case with this guy. They see that relaxed demeanor, but they know it's the result of the preparation.
He's good. And no, of course they respect his work ethic, and he's had to work on it, but it's also he gets it done, man.
He's
and
a
he's
cool
just
cat.
kind of but it's you know, he's the anti-Burrow. And listen, he admitted I kind of got tired of hearing it because I mean, Burrow is, and look, Bruce, before we started the show today, Charlie, favorite player ever played for LSU, just stored history, Joe Burrow. Come on, Joe Burrow. Well, this guy had a better season statistically than Joe Burrow. He had more yards per attempt. Now, he didn't win a national championship, but statistically, and throw on 1,000 yards rushing in that year on his way. You win the Heisman Trophy, Bruce, you know this, and you got 3 losses, you really got to be good. You know, as opposed to just being the team on the way to the national championship game. And Burrow is the best. And we're kind of LSU football historians, and this is the best we've ever seen. And this guy statistically trumped it, and now he trumps him in his rookie season. Yeah, Burrow got hurt in Cincinnati, but he's better. He's better. He's more impactful, and he's got us kind of stretching. And that's why Max did a hell of a job bringing up Joe Namath at 65.
Well, he watched Joe Namath, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Remembers Joe Namath. Joe Namath joined him on the levee with his little cardboard box with the snow, you know? I'm sorry. What's that, Max?
Broadway
so
Joe
rare.
and Burbank Joe.
Yeah, it's so rare for a rookie. I mean, you think about all the really great quarterbacks who didn't make much of an impact at all as a rookie. LSU-wise, how about Burt Jones? Took him a couple years in Baltimore to get going. I mean, he wasn't, 73. I think he was maybe splitting time with Marty Domery as a quarterback. I mean, he didn't take any as good as Burt Jones was. Took him a while. I mean, most quarterbacks, you don't just hit the ground running like this kid has done, and he has really done it.
No, the position takes longer, of course. It takes some seasoning. It takes some guys, it takes just sitting on the ground. I mean, who's the best quarterbacks right now? I mean, Mahomes, well, he sat his first year. He played as an insignificant start the last game at Denver, his rookie season. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, how many MVPs? He sat. I mean, so there's a difference of it. And in Joe Burrow, it took him a couple injuries and some other things, get some pieces around him. But no, this is crazy. It's but the whole, what do you call it, Charlie? The device I use. I'm surprised we're not just getting flooded with this.
I am
now
too.
as okay. Why did he jump? Why was this jump? Because it was as a passer, we know he can run, and he was a one look and tuck it run. His first year at LSU, we're screaming, Bruce, at the TV. Throw the ball. Let it go. Let it throw the damn ball. And then he goes the next year, he's coming out. It's coming out. Brian Kelly talked about it, and Brian Kelly gets credit. Brian Kelly gets credit. This device gets credit. So this
Jack
simulated
Marucci found this thing, this equipment. And
so Jack Marucci does the bats. It's not his invention, but he discovered
he
this.
found it. Yeah, he's the sports technology guy.
I give credit to I give credit to Cliff Kingsbury here too, and working with Dan Quinn, and I think he said, "Look, Coach, let's unleash this kid," and this has also helped. Kingsbury's status now is up some too, because he's working in great concert with Daniels, and that's a very good marriage there they got in Washington. So right now, I mean, this is kind of exciting. It really is.
How do you see the game Sunday? 6, and what are we looking at the total right now?
47.5.
47.5.
Yeah, first of all, Hurts. He's had a week since he injured that knee late in the Ram game. He was hurting at the end of that game, and that sack they took in their last possession, I would have think earlier in the game he might have gotten away from that, but he just wasn't moving that well. If he's not moving that well, this is a problem, and we don't know about that, but that would be a problem for Philadelphia. I thought actually early in the game that Kellen Moore and Sirianni, that first drive, I mean, the Rams were hell-bent to stop Saquon, and Hurts, good work, some nice passes, and then he ran. He ain't completing the ball downfield too much, though, and that's both playoff games have been like that. And Washington, remember now, the game that Washington beat them in December, Hurts got hurt in that game, but they're pretty far ahead, and then he got hurt, and then it was Pickett. But that was one of those Jayden Daniels magic games. We've seen a few of those this year. This team is so playing with I haven't seen a team play with house money like this since maybe the Titans that year, 5 years ago. They made the run to the AFC title game, but this is a little bit different. That was a lot of Derrick Henry and some of Tannehill. This is a lot of Jayden Daniels and his magic. I think they got a shot here, and maybe even to steal one. But +6, I have a feeling they're going to just hang around. Saquon is obviously he really has hurt Washington. He hurt him when he was with the Giants before Quinn got there this year. He hurt Washington this year. I'm thinking Washington here with Daniels, some magic. They might even win it. I'm going to go ahead and call it 30-27 Washington. And how about that? Wouldn't that be a story for the ages? This team coming out of nowhere with Daniels. I think it might happen.
The house money, since you brought that up, Bruce, where would you put the 2006 Saints? They were the second worst team in the league the year before that. They were into the NFC Championship game in Chicago. Even had a lead into the third quarter in that game, or within two.
No,
they were within
they
two.
put within one score.
They were after the Reggie Bush touchdown. They weren't.
No, they were still behind.
Okay,
they never.
They
were
within one score. The game got away from them in the fourth quarter, but they were playing with house money that year.
Yeah, they were. That's God. I can't believe that's 19 years ago now. 20 years ago. So they were too, but more recently, I think Tennessee was sort of like that too a few years ago, and they just didn't. I mean, that was an upset. They had a couple of upsets in that playoff run that year, which really they beat Baltimore when top seed. They beat New England, and then they went to Kansas City. That's what this sort of reminds me of. But Daniels is the great equalizer. I will say this about Philly: it is a different Philly than 2 years ago. Saquon and Vic Fangio's got this defense making plays. This is a better Eagle defense than we saw 2 years ago. And they did have to come up big to slow the Rams right at the end last week, because I thought LA was going to steal that. But I believe in Jayden Daniels. I think they got a shot.
Yeah, Charlie, they cut it to 18 to 14, 18 to 14. It was 18-14 on the road. Reggie Bush taunted Urlacher.
Yeah, that was when I actually got excited, and I think they tried. They had another drive going. They turned the ball over.
Bears started 16-0. Saints ripped off
14 in a row, 16 and 14, and then there was a safety. And it all went down.
18-14. So, all right, Bruce. What about the late game? Here we go again. Bills in Kansas City.
Yeah, here we go again. Buffalo has won. The previous 3 seasons, they won in the regular season in Kansas City, 2021, 22, and 23. And they beat them in the regular season this year in Buffalo. They have not beaten them in the playoffs yet, though. In 20, they lost 21, that great overtime game, and then last year in Buffalo at 27-24. So playoff games, Kansas City seems to win. Regular season, Buffalo seems to win. Buffalo has not won a road playoff game since the 93 AFC title game at Miami, I think. They had a long playoff drought in there too, but that's one thing that Josh Allen has yet to do is win a playoff game on the road. I think they are probably a better team than Kansas City, but I am not betting against the Chiefs here. And it's not about stats with Mahomes, and they're not putting up the offensive stats that they used to. He hardly uses the wideouts that much. I don't know if he used them at all against Houston, but Kelsey is capable of coming up with big games, and just Mahomes, the way he controls the levers of a game and keeps drives alive, he's still the best at that. Jayden's coming close, though. And that defense for Kansas City is so underrated. When the chips are down, I think they can do it. I want to see Buffalo actually win one of these things on the road in a big game like this before I trust them to go into Kansas City and win to get the Super Bowl. I don't think they're going to do it. I'm going to take Kansas City 23-17. Probably another under. Kansas City has been a very good under team this year. Also, the field goal edge. Butker's back after he missed a few games. I like him instead of Bass. Bass missed that field goal right at the end last year. That could certainly come into play, and that always helps the Chiefs in these close games. And a 3-point win will get you the money with Kansas City. That's what I think is going to happen. I think it might be more like 6, but I'm taking KC, and I like it under.
All right, Charlie. Bruce, any tonight hoops or tomorrow in college hoops? Anything you like?
A couple tonight. One, I'm interested in this Michigan-Purdue game tonight. Matt Painter would probably love to have Zach Edey back for one more year to face Michigan with those 2 7-footers that Dusty May brought in. But I think Michigan's played a couple overtime games in a row. But I like it. Getting you probably around 4 tonight. I think Michigan's worth a look. Purdue is good, but the Big Ten schedule thus far has broken pretty nicely for Purdue. They do have some losses this year. I think Michigan's worth a look. Here's my special one for tonight. Under the total, Chicago State at Stonehill. Look, it's in the low 130s. Look at Chicago State's offensive numbers. This is historically bad.
Charlie?
They are the 354, 355 in scoring, and 355 in shooting percentage. That's the bottom. And they've got this thing in the low 130s. They played a game, Fairleigh Dickinson, the other night, went 58-48. I can't believe they got this number in the low 130s. They just played a 120 with Stonehill last week. So I might go with the under there. Real quick in the MAC tonight, Kent State is at Ohio. Kent State has played 6 MAC games, and the road team has won every single game. Talk about an oddball trend. I don't think that continues tonight. Ohio U looks like they put some things together. I will take Ohio U in that one. Kent State's not shooting that well. In the SEC tomorrow, take your pick. There's good games everywhere tomorrow. I will say this about the SEC. The other night, 3 meltdowns in those games. The Ole Miss game, the South Carolina game, and the Georgia game. All, really, really, tough losses there for those teams with the lead. I'm curious about South Carolina. They're not that bad. They've been competitive at home. They've yet to win in the league. Their point guard's been hurting. Mississippi State comes in tomorrow. But it's not going to be easy. I think South Carolina might hang in there. And, of course, Tennessee and Auburn tomorrow night. I'm not betting, even without Janae Broom. Auburn just keeps going. So I might lean that way a little bit.
All right, Brucey, great stuff as always. Thank you, buddy. We'll talk to you next week. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you, boys.
All right, Bruce Marshall with us each and every Friday at this time. Don't forget our friends at Total Maintenance, South Louisiana, one of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC heating and heating companies since 1980. Service today, every day means same-day service. Call today, get service today. Factory authorized dealers, Carrier, American Standard, Dakin and Reen products. We've been telling you, try and get those heaters checked again for this time. And right around the corner, we're talking about getting those AC units checked as well. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, half off of diagnostics, including after hours, holidays, and weekends. We have membership programs that cover all of the services that we offer with discounts and extended warranties. So, hey, we make sure we know when it's time for your unit to be serviced. So when we get out of this freeze spell, this snow spell, and get back into it before we get into really warm temperatures, that's the time to get your unit serviced. Get it cleaned. It's going to save your month. It's going to lower your monthly bills. It's also going to extend your unit for the lifetime as well. Nobody wants to replace a unit. And keep in mind too that we got to tax those things. So before it gets hot, get those things checked in the next coming weeks. Give them a call here in Baton Rouge, 480-1000, 480-1000, Total Maintenance.
Live at Ruffino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Dozy Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze for the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
At Lofton, we're in the business of matching hard workers with some of the most sought-after employers in the Baton Rouge area. To Lofton, you're more than just another employee. We care about your interests, and we can help match you with a company that needs your skills. You can complete an application, schedule an interview, and even browse jobs by simply going to lofton.jobs. That's lofton.jobs. We also offer an unlimited $100 referral bonus. At Lofton, we put people to work. Lofton.jobs.
When your business needs a van that delivers, the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter is built for performance, space, and reliability. With best-in-class cargo capacity, advanced safety features, and the durability you expect, the Sprinter is ready for any job. And with inventory catching up, Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge has a full selection of Sprinter vans available now. Plus, take advantage of Section 179 tax savings by purchasing before year-end and potentially deduct the full cost from your 2024 taxes. Visit us on the Airline Highway in Baton Rouge or at mbobr.com today.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111, and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance and Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt.
Did you know that over 50 million people are missing teeth and experience discomfort and embarrassment due to dentures that just don't fit? We have a solution to transform your life in one day. Hi, this is Dr. Leo Reagan.
And I'm Dr. Michael Casadovan. At Fusion Implant Center, we have witnessed life-changing transformations of so many patients, even those patients who were told that they couldn't be helped.
The board-certified doctors here at the Fusion Implant Center guarantee painless and cost-effective procedures. We are the experts and teach this new technology all over the country.
The Fusion Implant Center, with its team of experts and state-of-the-art operating rooms, is conveniently located in one facility. No procedure is too complex for us. Every patient is a candidate. Let us give you back your confidence and smile.
Call today or visit FusionImplantCenter.com. Don't go one more day feeling insecure. Join the over 30,000 who have transformed their smile and enriched their lives in one single day.
The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, downtown facing Town Square. At Jolie Pearl, we're pretty shucking good. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Finbom, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee. And Phil's Oyster Bar since 1950 on Government Street to now in the South Downs Shopping Center.
Now that it's cooler outside, this is the perfect time of year to get new windows, doors, and siding by calling me, Tommy, from Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. So set up your free quote today at gotommys.com. That's GEAUX, Tommys.com.
Happy New Year from all of us at Trash Rangers of Louisiana. Start your new year out right. Visit trashrangers.com and make the switch today.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Back here at Ruffino's Live at Lunch. Little NFL coaching news. Pete Carroll takes the Raiders job. What do you think?
Tom Brady had the stamp of approval on that one.
Tom Brady was involved in the hiring process.
He was?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Well, no, there was a big stink about that because is it a conflict of interest with him being in production meetings for but he was. They allowed him to do that.
Yeah, but the guy even asked him in the Detroit Washington game. Oh, you interviewed Aaron Glenn. What do you think?
Yeah.
he typical Brady, gave you nothing.
Right.
But that's a joke. I mean, he's
I agree.
Don't do both, dude.
It's a huge conflict of interest.
I mean, yeah.
What do you think of Pete Carroll at 73 going to run the Raiders?
What's that?
Pete Carroll at 73 going to run the Raiders?
What do you think it is? He's 73. He's past his prime, and it's a retread, and
he's a better coach than the Raiders have had in quite some time, even at 73. He doesn't. He looks like a young 73.
What do you know of Pete Carroll? What's his coaching style? He's kind of an energy guy, right?
Yeah. Lord knows that organization needs some jolt of something. I know he's
73.
Who
else is hiring Pete Carroll? Do you get excited if the Saints hire Pete Carroll?
No.
Well, why are you getting excited for the Raiders?
I think it's an improvement.
Well, anything is.
Well,
I mean, they can hire Max.
No. That's not true. The last 2 times they have hired a coach, they hired the guy that the players wanted, and the time before that, they hired a guy who was one of the worst coaches ever.
The Raiders we get pissed off the Saints because they've fallen into that category of poorly run. Okay.
Yeah.
But the Raiders have done this is okay. I mean, who wouldn't be an improvement of all the names being thrown out? Would Liam Cohen be an improvement?
Yes, Liam Cohen would probably be.
Would Aaron Glenn be an improvement?
Probably, but I don't. But those 2 guys are on. Here's
you giving them credit for being an improvement.
I'm giving them credit because they hired Josh McDaniels, because they hired Antonio Pierce, because they hired Tony Soprano. They hired Dennis Allen. I'm giving you the last 10 coaches, John Gruden, okay, Gruden 2.0, if you will. Even Del Rio didn't win over there, and he had been successful. At least give me somebody that I know is not.
Okay, how much is because they had such poor ownership that nobody was going to win there?
Well, that's a lot. That's a big part of it, and that's why with the Saints, there's 2 spots left. This and the Cowboys, and we said this at the beginning. This is no big. The Saints' job was the worst job out there. It was worse than the Jets, and you got to really try hard to be worse than the Jets.
Who's most culpable for that?
The general manager,
right?
General manager,
and he's still there, right?
He is, and he's
so wake me up when they ready to move on,
and that's why.
And so you're going down the Raiders' path.
Here's my thing, okay? You can't get rid of the owner in Las Vegas, and you can't get rid of the GM in New Orleans, okay? So what is your best course of action, okay? If that's a given, they should fire Loomis, no kidding, but she's not going to do it. So what do? You hire somebody who's got enough gravitas and enough respect that the general manager might actually listen to him. Okay, that Mark Davis might not take it from Antonio Pierce or Josh McDaniels, but if Pete Carroll tells him, hey, you know what, dummy, let me run the draft and let me run practice and let me run free agency and all that stuff, and you stay in your damn owner's
box. The guy that's cutting his checks, he's going to call him a dummy.
Well, he's going to be nicer than I am, but yes. Point is, he might listen to him. The reason that Mike McCarthy might make a little sense in New Orleans, and yes, the program is doomed as long as Loomis is there, is Loomis might actually, if McCarthy says, I want to take this guy instead of your guy, Loomis might actually listen.
McCarthy makes more sense than Carroll.
Well, he's 12 years younger than him. Yeah, but a lot of people say, well, he's a retread, and he's this, and he hadn't won one playoff game in the last 5 years. But if you go with a fresh coach, which there's a reason that the slot machines with the big shiny numbers get more attention than the blackjack table that has better odds, because everybody wants to hit the jackpot. They want to go hire another Sean Payton. The odds are against that because Loomis is not going to listen to any first-time coach. He's just not. He'll say he will, but he's not. So you hire somebody that's actually got a resume that may be able to get Mickey off of, hey, I want to trade 4 draft picks for a first-round pick.
That's where we are, huh?
Yes. Yeah, it is.
And that's why I'm bored with the Saints. Wake me up. I mean, it's a crappy organization. Miss Gale's one of the greatest people in the world, but she's not a good owner right now, and that's just the brunt of it. And I mean, there's not a track record that Mickey Loomis has done with the Saints that would survive any other place. That he's family there, and so there you go. It's a compromised organization. And when you compromise, I don't care what you do in life, you're not going to. This is a highly competitive field. Is it unbelievable how many of these NFL franchises, organizations, these operations are compromised? It's unbelievable. Usually, it's the guy who's the owner who's mid-80s and like, hey man, I ain't got much left here now. I don't care now. Hell with later on.
You have had in the last 6 or 8 years a lot of franchises with those 80-something owners that have passed, and they have moved the franchise, and some of the times the inheritees, like in Houston, New Orleans, have kept it, and sometimes they've sold it, like they did in Denver. They sold it to the Walmarts, and so now they've got more money than they know what to do with.
So the Washington owner's good, right?
No, the new one, yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
He didn't pass. Snyder got forced out, so that's a little bit of a different situation.
Why is he good? Do you ever listen to him? He doesn't strike you like he's breaking down the league.
No, he did what good owners do.
Why is he good?
You hire good people and you let them work.
How do you know who they're good people to hire?
You have to.
I made all my money doing something else. Again, outside of football.
I'll go back to the Tom Benson example. You can ask the league. The league will give you a list.
How many people do that, Charlie?
Probably
of the current 32 owners, how many have called the league for advice?
Don't necessarily have to go to the league. You can go to respected football people that are not currently with.
How do you know who respected football people are?
You can do a little resurch. I mean, they're not stupid. They're billionaires. Okay. I mean, they can go and say, hey, you know what? If I go talk to
firm, they get a firm, huh? Firms have had a good track record, huh? Sometimes you got to be a little lucky too.
Yes.
Because these people are, they're not in the business of being told what to do. They didn't get to where they are.
The business acumen of other businesses does not work in the NFL. That has been proven time and time again. So you talk to the most respected people in your industry, and then you got to make a call.
How does a guy from Washington know who the most respected people?
Do a damn Google search. I mean,
really? And that's you. I'm thinking there's a little trick. I mean, Jerry Jones played college football. You would think he knows. He's been in locker rooms. He understands, but he's more concerned with if it's profitable as a circus, because it's a glorified circus first, and then we'll worry about the football later. But he's considered a huge success. Because they hit him with the microphone and they got him everything, but they can't win on the field.
Call Bill Polian, call Jimmy Johnson, say, hey, can I buy you lunch? What do you think? These guys with multiple Super Bowl rings that are not working.
We do this for a living. These guys, I mean, Arthur Blank is putting plywood and flooring, and figuring out that. I mean, we have an idea who it is. I mean, it's just not. sometimes you got to get a little bit lucky. My problem with the Saints is it's compromise, and they are in. Who are we gonna get for coach? Oh, what does it matter? It doesn't matter. As long as you got the people who put you. Why are they the worst? Why is it the worst job in the league right now? Because of your front office.
Because of the way
your front
insist on
office
doing
and your
things.
general
Yes.
manager has done it the same way, and he is. Loomis did do his little press. Y'all kind of got a little run out of that, right? Where he like his end of the year address kind of deal.
Yeah, it was
closing. Said what do they call this?
Exit interviews.
The exit media availability.
Yeah.
Okay. Did anybody ask him what they thought of where was Dennis Allen's next step to being Chuck Noll or Bill Belichick? He sure did that in front of a microphone last time.
Well, let's see. The first thing he said was, we are not going to talk about our coaching search, and we're not going to talk about players because we haven't finished evaluations. And when they asked him about dismissing Dennis Allen, he said it was an organizational decision, and I'm part of the organization.
You know what? I'm
loosely translated, he wanted to keep Allen, which Allen has backed up in comments that he's made since then. So Mickey Loomis is absolutely the worst general manager in football. He's got the worst cap situation. He's got the worst roster. He's got the worst evaluation of coaches. I don't know what else I can say other than because they're not going to fire him, please, can the next coach be somebody that he might listen to? That is my only hope. Obi-Wan. Okay.
Well, if that's your hope, yes, so McCarthy, he would have a chance of listening to.
And I'm not going to throw a parade for Mike McCarthy. I understand his shortcomings, but I don't think Loomis will listen to anybody else on this list. So if you want to continue kicking contracts down the road and trading up in the draft for one player, then, take a shot that you might get a coordinator.
Until you're trying, I'm sorry, and I know I might not be doing my job. Maybe there's listeners, man, I want some Saints info. I was talking to a great sponsor today, a long-time sponsor today. Man, what about the Saints? Dude, I don't care. I mean, you are LSU basketball to me.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm apathetic. I mean, until you try, until you give yourself a better chance at winning, and I'll tell you this, name me a better person than Miss Gale.
No, we
but
agree
that
on
doesn't mean but Miss Gale. I mean, Pope Francis or whatever. I don't necessarily need to run in my football team. I mean, she's got to clean house, dude. She's got to clean house, and until she does it, and she's running a damn team, right?
She owns it.
Yeah. Okay.
Dennis Lauch is running the organization.
Okay, but I mean, I don't care if you go to Grandparents' Day for Loomis or Lauch's kids, at Sacred Heart. I don't care. That's compromising you. You can still go. Still go to Sacred Heart. It's fine. But I mean, the compromise, and until we get we got a guy who's on the job training at LSU basketball. Vandy.
So you're no on Pete Carroll, which is what I think I asked you to start.
That'd be a no. It's what is it for me? What
Charlie, you got to remember,
really,
he won Tom Brady a Super Bowl already. So
he did. It was a nice call down to go. I was at the OC.
Either way,
you're the head coach. It's your call. Ask Marshawn Lynch who's.
I think the OC was calling that. Yeah, I don't think Carroll had anything to do with the play calling.
Well, he had a headset on. He could have said, "Are you out of your mind? Give the ball to Marshawn Lynch."
Fair point.
I won money on that.
Oh, not me. Awful. Don't forget our friends at Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Lee, right across from Mike Anderson's, just off of Nicholson. Los Reyes Mexican Grill. They got a great selection of all your traditional Mexican favorites. Got a great happy hour. It's open 7 days a week, 2:30 to 6:30, Monday through Friday through Saturday through Sunday. Every day is a happy hour. Go by and check them out. Again, Scott and Kyle doing a great job managing the place. The staff is vendor friendly, and you don't get that sticker shock when you get hit with your bill after you eat. Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Nicholson, on Lee, just off of Nicholson.
Live at Ruffino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Are you looking for the perfect ride for your next getaway? Rent a car for the week at All-Star Toyota and only pay for 6 days. You get 7 days of adventure for the price of just 6. So whether you're headed out on a road trip, you need a vehicle for the week, or just want something new to drive, we've got you covered.
At All-Star Toyota, we offer a wide selection of Toyota vehicles ready to hit the road when you are. Conveniently located at Airline at Goodwood in Baton Rouge. Visit us today or check out our website at allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com for more details.
All-Star Toyota, people you know, cars you trust.
Hey, do you love beef? I mean premium Angus beef. Sagrera Farm sells the whole sides and quarters straight from the farm, ready to fill your freezer with.
Nothing. I'm going to do the promo in a little bit.
Okay. To introduce you to Louisiana's own Sean Sagrera of Sagrera Farms, a hidden gem just 30 minutes north of Baton Rouge. What's Sean's secret? Mating genetically superior Angus cattle and then ensuring that every day in the life of his cattle is a great one. Happy, healthy cattle, finished on grain, dry-aged, 45 days, creates consistent and predictable, flavorful beef. When you take a bite of Sagrera Farms beef, you'll know that this is not some mass-produced afterthought. So if you want the best, and I mean the best in Angus beef, go online to sagrerafarms.com, or better yet, call Sean right now at 225-719-1723. Sagrera Farms.
Louisiana's big weather can mean big damage to your roof. Our team offers free inspections and guarantees your satisfaction. Call 756-8603 or visit riceandroofing.com.
Just to be on the safe side.
Take a tour of the flavors of Southwest Asia with P.F. Chang's Golden Feast. Asian fried chicken and bubbles, Korean fried chicken, Taiwanese popcorn fried chicken, and sauces to add a little kick. Come visit us today in Town Center. P.F. Chang's. Look for the Golden Horse.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Padiella Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com.
Hey, Tiger fans, listen up, because there's a new way to snack on the Bayou. Introducing the all-new officially licensed LSU Snacks. Experience the flavor of victory with the LSU Win Bar, inspired by the iconic stadium bar itself. Toasted oats, roasted almonds, and 100% real chocolate, packed with 6 grams of protein. Or grab Win Bites gluten-free crispy chocolate chip mini cookies. Every purchase of LSU Snacks directly supports LSU athletics. Order now at lsusnacks.com. Should your travel plans take an unexpected turn, the Genesis Roadside Assistance Program is there to help. Whether you need a tire change, transportation to the nearest Genesis retailer, or reimbursement for certain unexpected overnight expenses, we have your back. This benefit is available for 5 years from the date of first usage. Choose luxury in 2025. Visit us today at Genesis of Baton Rouge, where luxury and performance meet. Airline Highway across from Women's Hospital, or at genesisofbatonrouge.com.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Today's show brought to you by Coastal Capital Advisors, because when it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike. Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's needs. It doesn't matter what your age is. It doesn't matter your financial situation. The bottom line is Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you. They'll build a relationship. I know they have done this for me over many years, and they can help you as well. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot, his staff, 337-981-1376. online, coastalcapital.adv.com. Advisory Services, a New Edge Advisors LLC as Coastal Capital Advisors, registered investment advisors. Securities offered through New Age Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC. SEC basketball tomorrow, Max. We got lines that have come out now for another big day in the SEC. What we're looking at?
So the big game is Tennessee at Auburn. We'll see if Broome plays in this game, but we're looking at about 6.5, 7.5, depending where you look, on Auburn at home in this one.
7:30 game, that one of the two late games tomorrow. What else we got? We got Mississippi State at South Carolina. We get that line yet? That's the first game up tomorrow.
Yep,
6.5. 6.5. What else? Kentucky's at Vandy.
Kentucky's 3.5 on the road there.
And A&M is at Texas.
That's a 1.5 point favorite for A&M.
Texas is favorite, huh? I've seen Texas favorite.
Okay, A&M both sides. Yeah, I'm seeing both sides there.
Okay.
A&M.
Okay. And Georgia, Florida, 2:30 game in Gainesville.
Florida about a 9.5 point favorite at home against Georgia.
Tough one for Georgia the other night. Ranked teams in Columbia, Ole Miss and Missouri. Tough one from Ole Miss the other night as well.
Missouri's good, man. Missouri's good. They seem to be undervalued for some reason. I mean, have they not been as good as Ole Miss this year?
Yeah, I
kind of don't put them quite up because I like Beard. I mean, I certainly like Beard more than Missouri coach. He's more accomplished, more respected. Charlie, that's what I found out when I Googled. Yeah. So,
do a little research. But, you think there's still some lingering effects? There's 6 games in now. Missouri was 0-19 in the league last year. So the first few games, I could see where they might have been undervalued. You should be getting the hang of it by now after they won 4 in a row in the league.
They're
I mean, this is nothing. There's nothing that happened last year that factors into me evaluating Missouri or any other team in college basketball this year.
I didn't mean you. You said they were undervalued overall.
No, I think. The odds make. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
100%. Yes, I do. I do think they're a little late to the party because I think Beard carries a bigger stick too. I think even some people that
2.5 point favorite at home against Ole Miss, so they're telling you Ole Miss is the better team on a neutral floor.
And I think so, but man, these are 2 tough losses for Ole Miss. I mean, overtime loss, a rivalry game at the Hump. Now I give them a little bit more respect. They actually covered in that game. And they were 5-0, but is it just A&M hit some shots at the end, or did Ole Miss fall apart at the end? That was a tough loss for them, where they led. A&M's first lead of the game was the final score.
Yeah, and
I mean that's tough.
How big was their biggest lead? Do you remember?
11, 9, 11, around that range. It was enough where I hedged 70% of my bet.
That's a pretty big. It's a pretty big lead to blow at home, double-digit lead at home.
Winning the whole, I mean, but I don't know.
When you think they definitely got away. How big an underdog is LSU tomorrow? We thought 15.
There's no line. Ken Palm's telling you they're about 16 points different on neutral, but they tend to, these bigger spreads, they don't really value the home field as much, or they kind of cancel it out, I'd say.
Wait, what?
I find so it's a 16-point spread difference in Ken Palm on a neutral. Do you think they're going to be 21?
16 on neutral?
No, it's at Alabama. So it tends to not get all the way to 21 when it's that high.
I see what you're saying. And yes, I would tend to agree with that. I mean, I think it's going to be about 15. If Ken Palm's at 16 already, might be more.
2 of the 3 games that they've played at home, they've won in blowout fashion. They crushed Oklahoma. I think that was 28, and then they beat Vandy. They covered that game by about 4, and then in between that, they lost to Ole Miss in one of the more shocking outcomes.
This is a garbage game. It's and what I mean by saying that is, I mean,
Alabama's going to name the score tomorrow.
Right, but I mean, do they?
What are they going to name? They're going to name 14 or they're going to name 21?
Right, if they are 15 to 20 with 5 minutes to go, who's he got in? Who does? I mean, it's
been a house of horrors, Coleman Coliseum for LSU.
But this is a soft spot in the schedule. Will Alabama be a bigger favorite the rest of the season?
No,
not likely.
Does South Carolina go there? They do not. So no. No, they've already gone to South Carolina. No, this is the biggest favorite they'll be the rest of the way.
Only one more game in the conference, Oklahoma at Arkansas. Both teams off their first SEC win this season. Arkansas 2.5.
Who'd Oklahoma beat?
They beat.
We know Arkansas came back at
South Carolina.
South Carolina, yes.
The other night.
At home by 20.
So back the last week, South Carolina almost beat Florida a couple nights ago. At home.
South Carolina, 3 of the 6 games, they've lost them all, but 3 of the 6 games they've covered.
South Carolina played well. They're a capable team. They should have won that game against Florida. They were winning. I think they were winning to the final score.
They're scrappy. Yeah, they're scrappy.
But they've shown that they can compete. Also, I mean, they beat Clemson. Clemson's a good team,
and they were right there with Auburn. And I think Broome was still playing in that game.
Yes.
They won that game by I think it was 3. So they're scrappy.
Yes,
a scrappy bunch.
Don't forget our friends over at Total Diamond Performance. Total Diamond Performance, my buddy Matt Lestretta and his great staff. And, there's a big, exciting news that we got that Baton Rouge facility going. And now's the time to get in touch with Total Diamond Performance, because this is the time where we start trying to look at some of the, right around the corner is starting tournament baseball. So get in touch with our friends over at Total Diamond Performance. That way they're going to give you detailed instructional stuff. It's not babysitting, and going to help out your tournament, your youth baseball player or softball player get in with it. Again, Total Diamond Performance, call Matt at tdpbaseball.com, Matt at tdpbaseball.com.
Live at Ruffino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Are you tired of glasses, contacts, or readers, or is it just time to schedule your annual eye exam? Well,
yeah, the computer froze. Give me a second.
Okay.
All right, it's ready to go.
Everything's frozen, Jordan.
Yeah, I don't know what it's going. All right, here we go.
It's too much snow.
All right, it's good. It's ready to go.
Join me, Jimmy Ott, for the Monday edition of Live at Lunch, live at the Beau Rivage Sportsbook. It's Live at Lunch, Monday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., right here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
A remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential will extend your vehicle's life, giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Siegen, near Perkins.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Looking for a new job in the new year? River Parish Contractors has lots of upcoming turnarounds and project work in 2025. Submit your application today at rpcontractors.com to get on the call list. RPC is a large local workforce that is constantly growing, and they're looking for talented pipe fitters, iron workers, equipment operators, rig welders, civil carpenters, and general labor. And you don't have to travel to have a career. Our jobs are close to home. Come join the team. Give Big Jake a call or apply online at rpcontractors.com. rpcontractors.com.
The Grove Recovery Center asks you to call to let their family help yours. And know this, each of the members of the Grove's admission team are not only in recovery, they've also made that same phone call. So please know that when you reach out to them, there will be no judgment or ridicule, rather sympathy and understanding. After less than 10 minutes, a program of recovery destined for you begins. That phone call is the beginning of a new life. Let someone that's changed theirs help you change yours with the Grove Recovery Center, 310-2600.
Darren James and Associates, powered by LPT Realty, commit to excellent service unlike any other. Darren and his team save buyers as much money as possible. If you're ready to buy or sell your home, call Darren James or visit agent225.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Football Sunday at 10 a.m. Sunday morning from the Beau Rivage in advance of the championship games in the NFC and the AFC. Jimmy, I'm not going to be able to be there on I'll be there on the phone on Sunday. Won't be able to make Monday's show, but, man, I want Washington. I think I'm going to say the same thing about Washington. I said the first two games. I don't want to play the game because I just want to sit there and root for the Commanders. I kind of feel like I'm watching the Joe Burrow run in his Super Bowl year, where I just kind of sat back and rooted for the LSU guy. I think I'm going to sit back and root for the LSU guy because it worked in the first two games. Not much horse sense going behind that. Just more of an emotion thing. I want to see this guy, finish this thing out and make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but usually, Charlie, history tells us that the better quarterback loses to the best roster. And that's kind of what you're going with here. I mean, he's clearly playing so much better form than he is with than Hurts right now. But man, that roster for Philadelphia is really tough. And I mean, how are they going to slow down Barkley? I mean, the Rams are better defensively than Washington.
They are. Barkley had 150 yards in the game that Washington won. So he can have a big game. They can still win.
You start in quarter. That's kind of, you can't just ignore the fact that no matter what you think of Hurts and what you think of Pickett, they lost their starting quarterback in early part of that game.
It's a great
They didn't
point.
have a week to work, get the one reps with the Pickett and the other ones.
What if Hurts plays in this game as a starter the way Pickett played in that game? He's had games like that in the last few where he doesn't play well.
Throws everything off. It makes it sort of an asterisk game. And listen, there's nothing asterisk about what Daniels did in that game, accounting for 5 touchdowns. I think he had 5 touchdown passes. It was fabulous. He had 4th and 11 runs where he slipped through all these guys.
He even threw 2 interceptions. He doesn't have to be perfect. They can still win. Philadelphia's favored. They should be.
You got to be really good for them to win.
He can't be.
They're fighting
terrible.
an uphill battle. I mean, Philadelphia's got one of the best rosters and has had one of the best rosters, if not the best roster in the league for a time. Washington gets a patchwork deal. It's got a really hot quarterback, really good quarterback. But usually history tells us that the Eagles win this game.
Yep. Let's hope history is bucked
Yeah,
on Sunday. Thanks to the folks here at Ruffino's for being our host every Friday again. Football Sunday at the Beau Rivage on Sunday at 10 a.m. Stay tuned for Hunt Palmer on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Hey, Max.
Live at lunch.